Hi guys, with me is Doreen. So as part of SoulFit Monday, I'm just going to be giving you guys a few tests, exercises and stretches that can help improve your overall posture. So we're going to be focusing on your thoracic spine. So those are muscles around your thoracic spine, like your trapezius and your rotator cuff muscles. So that's one area we're going to be focusing on, because you realize that we usually operate smartphones and electrical gadgets, so we usually tend to crane and hunch forward a lot, and it usually affects your overall posture. A human being is meant to be erect. You know, we're built to be erect, but we find due to our lifestyle we usually crunch forward, so it usually affects our posture and affects our ability to extend. So that's one area we're going to be focusing on. The other area we're going to be focusing is your core, your abdominal regions, because it's an important area that usually helps keep your body fixed in this position, because your core has to be engaged in any position that you do. So that's whether you're sitting, standing, running, walking, your core really has to be engaged for you to maintain a fixed position. And then the last area we're going to be focusing on are your hamstrings, because what usually happens is when you're sitting a lot, your hamstrings are usually affected majorly. So these are the areas we're going to be focusing on. The two major causes of poor posture are, one, your muscles, and this is from a biomechanics perspective. One is your muscles or your joints are not flexible enough, so that's why you have poor posture. Or number two, your muscles are just not strong enough to sustain or withstand gravity's pull. That's why you'll find a lot of individuals hunching, slouching, and sagging, whether they're sitting, whether they're standing, whether they're walking, any form of activity that you take part in. Thank you. So the first area we're going to be focusing is your thoracic spine, and the test for this is called the wall splat test. So for this, you want to be standing about 6 inches from a wall. Then you have your hands or your palms placed at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock position on the wall, nice and flat against the wall. And then for this, you just want to squat as low as you can with your hands flat against the wall and your hips and hamstrings parallel to the ground. So that's the correct. So if you perform that, that's a pass on the test. So what will constitute of a fail? A fail would be if your palms get off the wall as you're going down. So as you're going down, your palms get off the wall, or if you lose your balance as you're going down. So you just start from up, and then you lose your balance as you're going down. So that will constitute of a fail. Okay, thanks, Dory. So next, we're going to be focusing on stretching exercises just to help your overall flexibility, especially at your thoracic spine. So the muscles articulating at this point are your trapezius and your rotator cuff muscles. So this, Doreen's going to be performing a kneeling thoracic spine stretch. So for this, you can just use a chair or your couch at home. So you just get into a kneeling position with your arms on the chair or on your couch, and you just push your chest downwards and go as low as possible. You should be able to feel an excellent stretch, especially around your trapezius area, just right along your thoracic spine. So that's just a stretch. For this, you want to hold for about 40 to 45 seconds for about 3 to 4 reps. Thanks, Doreen. So onto the strengthening exercise for the muscles around your thoracic spine. Shrugs are an excellent strengthening exercise. So for this, you can just find some resistance and just perform the shrugs. So you want to round your shoulders as you're performing them, either backwards or forwards. So forwards, just a nice motion right there. Thanks. That's it. So the second muscle group we're going to be focusing are your abdominal muscles, so that's just part of your core. So the first test that we're going to perform for this is a push-up test. So you're just going to lie in a prone position, your exercise mat right there, in a prone position, flat like that. And then now here the aim is to raise your torso with your arms fully extended whilst keeping your hips flat against the floor, just like Doreen is displaying right there. So that will be a test. That will be a pass on your test. So what will constitute of a fail is if your arms are not fully extended as you're attempting to lift your torso off the ground, or if you lift your hips off the ground as you're coming up. So lifting your hips, Doreen, just right there. That will constitute of a fail. Thanks. So secondly, we're going to be focusing on the stretching exercise for this. So if you have access to a stability ball, an exercise ball, that's fantastic. So you just get into a supine almost like you're lying on the ball. So you start by sitting with your hips and then extend yourself backwards. You can either extend your arms back behind you like that. You'll be able to feel an excellent stretch, especially on your abs. Okay. So for this, you want to hold for between 40 to 45 seconds as well, performing 3 to 4 sets. So onto the strengthening exercise for this, you're going to be performing either Supermans or a plank. These are excellent strengthening exercises, especially for your core. So you can just get into position, Doreen, and perform Supermans. So Supermans are going to be strengthening the posterior part of your core. So that's your back muscles right here, your erector spinae muscles, which are just located on your lower back. So for this, you're alternating. So you're lifting your appendages. That's your arms and your legs alternatively up and down. So Doreen, so that's 1 rep. Number 2, up again. So just as simple as that. So for this, you're just going to be performing about 12 to 15 reps for 3 to 4 sets for that. And then the next one is the plank. So for plank, you just get into a nice plank, level plank. You're on your forearms right there, with your legs fully extended. You will just want to form a nice level plank right here. So you can just lower your hips just slightly down. Just have a nice level plank right there. So ideally the best test time is usually about 60 seconds, but you can challenge yourself to go for about a minute to 2 minutes. You want to perform about 3 to 4 sets of this. Thanks. Okay, thanks, Doreen. So the third and final muscle group we're going to be focusing is your hamstrings. We're going to be focusing on your hamstrings. So for this, we're going to start with the first test, which is a hinge toe touch test. So for this, you just get into position where you're actually hinging around your hips as you go down, and you're touching your toes as you hinge right there. So what you notice here is this is what the test entails, and this if you perform it this way, you actually get a pass. But most people, the mistake they usually make is they usually round their back. So they achieve a full range of motion, but they round their back or bend their knees as they perform them. So that's a fail, because you can see around her back it's actually rounded, or likewise you can also see her knees are bent as she's performing it. So this will constitute of a fail if you perform it this way. So next we're just going to be focusing on the flexibility or the stretching exercise for your hamstrings. So for this, you'll just need a chair. You can either lift your chair, your leg onto the chair, but you'll need a lot of safety consideration for this and a lot of balance. And then once your leg is fully extended, you just want to reach for your foot like that. You'll be able to feel an excellent stretch, especially on your hamstrings. So for this, you just want to hold for about 10 to 15 seconds for about 2 to 3 reps for each leg. Okay, good. So on to the final strengthening exercise for your hamstrings. So for this, you can either use a sit or your staircase. So for this, you just want to lift your knee up to about a 90-degree angle. Once it's nice and flat against the chair, you just lift it and hold for about 10 to 15 seconds right there, whilst maintaining balance. So guys, that's pretty much it. I hope you can find this test, exercises and stretches beneficial. The main focus is consistency. With consistency, you'll slowly start seeing an improvement in your posture. From me and Doreen, that's our time. Bye-bye.